let's get started. So I'm just going to draw about a, quarter size circle. So just around, okay, maybe that's a little bit bigger than a quarter, but whatever. And, if your circle looks wonky, don't worry about it. I'm actually quite impressed that mine looks as good as it does. Sometimes, you just really get a good circle, and sometimes you don't. But anyway, so what I wanted to do inside of here is put a yin-yang shape. So I thought that would be really fun. So once we have our main circle, we're going to put the little, kind of S shape that goes inside. So think about if you had two circles, one on top and one on bottom. We're kind of gonna, trace around those. So start on the side and make kind of a half circle around, come through the middle, and then a half circle around the other way. And that'll give us kind of like a little yin-yang shape. And then we can put our little circles in the middle there. See? Cute, no? Anyway, I just wanted to do something different. I get so tired of starting with just the same little shapes in the middle, but without a, like a guide, it's harder to make like a bigger circle around. But since we're not worrying about being perfect, it's all good. All right, let's see. Let's go around this. Let's just make our petals. My phone just went up. Hey, Candace. My phone just went up. I hope that wasn't deafening for you. Of course, junk. I've started getting calls that actually say, what do they say? Like marketer or marketing or something, which I've never seen before. So I don't know if there's some sort of like change in the law where they have to kind of state what type of call it is, or I don't know. But anyway, okay, going around with our petals, keeping mindful of our lines. You see I'm going, taking my time with each one. I'm not rushing through. So we have our start, draw, stop, start, draw, stop, start, draw, stop, and then finish up. And I will give you a second to finish up your petals, and then let's see, on the outside of our petals, let's go ahead and make some bigger petals. And what I want to do for this is I want to kind of do one on top and bottom and side to side, and then fill in the middle. And this is just helps us, just one way of helping us to gauge where the shapes go when we want to, have them go all the way around and kind of line up evenly, if that makes sense. So anyway, let's put a bigger petal on the top, and we'll put one on the bottom, and we'll put one on the side, and then the other side, and then we'll fill in, although I kind of like it like that. Let's go ahead and fill them in. Yeah, let's go ahead and fill them in. So just in between where you left off, and of course it's much better if you turn your paper, better for your shapes, better for your wrist. There we go. And then we have like an even amount of our petals there. And then let's see, what shall we do on outside of that? Let's go ahead and trace this shape. So just, starting just, anywhere on the line, just kind of trace that shape that you made with those petals around. And we can do that all the way around. Turning our paper, remembering our lines. There we go. And now, let's see. Let's go ahead and let's make kind of like my, chubby triangle shape in between these petals. So we'll come up to maybe about here. So just starting from the center of the petal. Just make your shape, and if you want to use a little dot for a guide each time, you can. Makes it easier in the hand-eye coordination thing, because you can, kind of judge sort of where center is there and how far up it needs to go, and then it's really much easier to have your hand go to where there's a little guide dot. Your brain more easily guides your hand there when there's a dot to go to. And let's see, finish these going around. I usually don't have the patience to put a dot on each one. Not for these kind of mandalas, when it's not that important for them all to be perfect. I just like to kind of go with the flow. And let's see. Now let's draw our kind of just, a little bit of a curvy line from tip to tip here. So just not quite of a straight line, or kind of a semicircle, or whatever you want to call it, a little bit of curve from petal top to petal top. Now we're not going exactly straight, although you can do that, and that would actually look really nice and just make it a little bit more geometric. But I'm actually putting just like a little bit of a curve in there. And then when you get around, you sort of have what looks like a nice circle behind or around your mandala. And that way it makes it very easy to draw a circle. If you think about just drawing like a nice circle around the whole thing, it's like impossible. But if you think about just drawing it in sections, each little section is just like a little curved line. When you get all the way around, you have a pretty nice circle that's going all the way behind. And it doesn't seem so, impossible to do. All right, let's see. Why don't we now, let's start in between these shapes. So just like kind of in the middle of this, and we'll make a little, one of my sort of Hershey, what I call Hershey Kiss shapes. And let's see, just to start, we'll go ahead and make our little guideline. And the Hershey's Kiss is just like that. And you can probably tell why I call it a Hershey Kiss shape, because it looks like a Hershey's Kiss. And let's see, put our guides here. And we'll make those go all the way around. Let's see. And you can have them touching here, you can have them spread apart, it doesn't really matter. All the same in the end. And these, again, these shapes are not the easiest shape. They're likely to be wobbly and wonky, and they're famous for having one side be, shorter than the other, or flatter than the other, or so don't even worry about that if they look a little bit wonky. I actually think they have more, see, like that one, see how this one's much a different of curve than that one, but I actually think it gives them much more character when they're like that. So I like it. There we go. There we are. That's looking pretty cool, isn't it? Let's see, what should we do next? Let's take and make like just kind of a little dome shape, or a little partial circle shape in between each of these petals. And remembering to keep focus on your lines, your start, draw, stop. Turning your paper as you draw. And there we go. All right. Let's see. Let's just start putting some decor in, shall we? All right, let's see. Filling in. Let's start with inside of our yin yang here. I want to actually put on one side, I want to put some petals. So we're just following along this little S shape that we made, putting some petals. And then on the other side, I actually want to make some dots. So it doesn't matter where you put the dots. I'm kind of lining them up with the little, point that touches the line from the petals, but it doesn't really matter. And let's see, then let's go ahead and make, what should we do? I'm going to make another little circle inside of this one, and I think I'll fill it in. And on this one, I think I'll make another little circle in the middle, but I'm going to fill the outside out. And remember, when we're filling in, to make sure you're keeping mindful of your lines. Go slow and methodical, and use it as an extra sort of meditation time as you're really super focusing on your lines as you're filling in. Let's see. Why don't I'm going to make, this is going to be a little bit tricky, so you can try this one or not, but I thought it would be fun. Let's kind of make a little, kind of like a teardrop shape, a little bit curved of a teardrop shape around this circle. So we'll start just somewhere down here and come up and just make a teardrop shape that's kind of curved. And on this one, we'll do the same thing, just kind of joining it. So we're having the same, similar balance of elements, just changing them up a bit from side to side. Hello, Patricia. So that will just make it, just nice and different, but, feeling balanced, and keep that feeling of yin yang. Let's see, I'm just going to trace this line just to make it a little thicker, just because I think it will look nice a little bit thicker. And let's see, what should we do next? I am going to, let's see, let's make, how about we make some petal shapes within here? So what I'm going to do is I am going to just make kind of like a little curve just inside of here. And I won't do all the triangles just for time's sake. And then we'll draw petals within these. So just starting somewhere in the middle, just draw a petal up all the way to the top. And then we'll just kind of keep drawing petals and layering them down. And just filling this triangle shape with these petals. And I'll just do a couple for time's sake, but you can go ahead and fill all those up when you get a chance. And let's see, what else can we do? let's draw a half circle in the middle of these circles, in the middle of our Hershey Kiss shapes. Just like this. And then let's go ahead and let's put some petals around that circle. Yeah? And then let's see. Let's trace that. So just doubling that shape there. And then let's go ahead and let's see. Let's put a little triangle in the tip. Actually, let's fill that in. So again, being very mindful of our line work as we fill in. And let's see. You know what I want to do is I actually want to, let's put some dots going down the side. Yeah. And let's see, I'm going to put another half circle here. And I hope I'm not getting like too complicated for everybody. Trying to still keep it doable, but just something a little bit different. And so that I made this little circle, and I'll actually fill this in just because. So just another little half circle, and then just some radiating lines coming from that. So then to repeat that, we have our half circle. Let's make petals around the half circle. And then we'll outline those petals. So just tracing that shape. Hey Adele, how are you? Switching up my mandala today. Putting like a little sort of yin-yang shape inside and doing a little bit more complicated shapes than normal, just because I like to vary it up for people who do them all the time while still keeping it kind of simple enough for people who are just doing it for the first time. So anyway, so now I'm putting just the little half circle in the middle that's filled in, and then kind of just these radiating lines coming out from it. Then again, we'll make a little triangle at the top, and then fill that in. Remembering to keep very mindful of our lines, don't rush. Focus on the filling in. And then our dots. So once you do this, you can go around and do each little segment separately. So go around and like put the petals all the way around, go around and put the, the radiating lines all the way around, go and put the, triangles and filament all the way around, if you like to do it that way, or you can do each one separately like I'm doing, one at a time. So just however feels good for you to work. A lot of times I'll switch it up. I'll go and I'll do things around one at a time, and then if that starts to get a little monotonous, then I'll go and I'll switch to just doing one at a time. So whatever's up to you. Adele, yin yang is your fave. I know, I love yin yangs. I don't use them as much as I used to. I used to use them all the time everywhere. But I just thought it would be fun because it's kind of semi-simple to do for the center of the mandala, and it's always really fun. Anyway, so let's see. So I'm kind of losing actually my yin yang in the middle when I look back at it. So what I want to do is I want to go and I am going to, let's see, what I can do, and I'm trying to think of things that aren't going to, take a lot of time. Let's just make the line a little bit thicker around there. That's one way of doing it. And you can use a thicker pin if you want, or you can, just like I'm doing, just kind of go back over and trace and make it a little bit thicker. And the other thing I was thinking of doing, but would be more time consuming, is, let's see, not that this isn't time consuming, is actually filling in these petals in here. You know what we can do that's not as time consuming is just putting a little half circle in the middle of them and filling that in. So you're kind of almost making like a little double petal there. And that way you have a lot less to fill in because it gets very monotonous to, to fill in, you know, a lot of area like this. And you definitely can, and some people love that. You know, it's kind of like, you know, doing coloring books or something. You're doing a lot of, you know, that monotonous filling in. So it's fine to do that, whatever that you would, you know, like to do if you like to fill in a lot. But just remember to really keep conscious of your line work and your, you know, the filling in part, to keep it very mindful. Don't rush. Don't start scribbling and you know, scrubbing in. Because that is kind of, you know, very much getting away from the mindfulness of the exercise. So as long as you're, you know, really keeping your strokes in mind as you're filling in, that's fine. It's actually very, very meditative to fill in a lot of area that way. And let's see, I'm going to go in and make my center line a little bit bigger too, or thicker, just to kind of highlight that. And if you want, you know, you can do, you know, even more filling in, because, you know, typically a yin yang is black and white, correct? So, you know, we can go in and, you know, fill in this side. And I'm just kind of, you know, going to show you sort of an easy way to do that. So you see, I'm kind of outlining these dots here to keep them separate, and then I will go and fill in around those circles so that we maintain those little dots as an element, but we can go ahead and fill in the rest of the mandala. And what, oh my gosh, I need to go. See what happens when you I get involved in these cool different mandalas. I need to get out. I'm supposed to be logging off now. Anyway, so yeah, so just go along here and you can trace on this, just keeping to be, you know, remembering to keep very mindful of your lines. Don't start scrubbing. One, it will get very sloppy and you're likely to go outside of the, you know, lines that have a big, you know, mark across. But also just to keep this a, you know, a very mindful exercise. And you don't have to go in slow motion. Just make sure that all your movements are very mindful. You know, I'm going to go back and forth now, or now I'm going to, you know, trace around. So you can keep in mind those kind of things, and that will help you to keep focused. And I will do that a lot. I will go and just kind of re-outline places to where it gets, the line gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and then suddenly it's filled in. Anyway, okay, I need to go. So, oh, Adele, yeah, bye, thank you. You're probably already logged off. Anyway, okay, I gotta go. Thanks everybody for hanging out and drawing a mandala with me. Remember, when is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Tomorrow is my my masterclass for the Super Soul Summit. 5:30, so same time tomorrow, 5:30 Central Time, and it's going to be a special 1 hour long, so it's going to be really, really awesome. Please join me. And yeah, that's it, everybody. Thanks so much. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.